Alright, not my normal drink intro. By now y'all know if I don't do that, the video's gonna be touching on something a little bit more serious, a little more sensitive. So, and of course y'all know what it's gonna be, dealing with the situation that's going on in Cleveland right now. Um, and it's kind of a continuation from my little soapbox I got on, I believe it was Saturday, with one of those long posts I put up. And before I start, I need to go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and say it this way. I'm gonna go ahead and get out there. I am by no means trying to justify what this man did. I'm by no means trying to take up for what this man did. I'm by no means trying to say it's somebody else's fault. Bottom line, he made a decision to do what he did. It's on him. It's on totally on him. That's it. So don't try to come on and say, it doesn't matter if he had this, he still made a decision, or nothing's that bad, he could have did this, or I don't. That's obvious. Nobody's trying to do that. Nobody's trying to justify it in any way. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. Same thing I was talking about on Saturday. Mental illness in our community, African Americans, is taboo. It's a faux pas. It's just something we don't talk about. We act like it doesn't happen, and it very much does. This man said that went to his own mother and said, I'm having suicidal thoughts. I'm having homicidal thoughts. And she pretty much brushed him off. And that's a problem that we need to deal with. Like, we need to go ahead and admit that, yeah, there are a lot of mental issues that happen in our community. There are a lot of mental issues that happen with us, and stop just trying to pray about it and leave it alone. Am I saying prayer is wrong? Of course not. Am I saying you shouldn't pray? Of course not. But if you're going to go to the biblical route, the religious route, it says faith without works is dead. So you have the faith to pray, but you're not going to do the work in the back end of it. You're praying for God for help, but what if that help is supposed to come through a therapist? What if that help is supposed to come through counseling? What if that help is supposed to come from a psychiatrist or a psychiatrist? You don't know, so you can't just say, I'm going to pray and expect it to be done. Like I said, he had to have at some point done something, said something, made some kind of remark, made some kind of, did something where somebody had to realize something's not right. You don't just snap to that extent all of a sudden and go and do what he did. You don't just get to the point where you snap and then say, you know what, I'm going to go around and kill random people and broadcast it to the world. That's not a all of a sudden issue. That's something's been going on with this man for a while. Somebody had to have seen something, and somebody could have done something. Now, again, am I saying it because they didn't, it's their fault? Of course not. Bottom line, regardless of what he was going through, regardless of what he was feeling or thinking, he made the decision to do what he did. What I'm saying is, if someone had realized or even, said, what, something's going on, we need to get him some help, and got him some help, maybe it could have been avoided. Another thing I've heard a lot of people saying and seen a lot of people say as well, he worked in the mental health field, so he should be able to know that something's going on, and he should be able to deal with that. The thing about that, is kind of an old saying, and it's kind of cliched and it's kind of insulting, but crazy people don't know they're crazy. A lot of times, just because you're having an issue, if you're having an issue, you don't recognize the issue is there, and you might not deal with it the extent it is until it's too late. Like I said, he said, I work in mental health. That's one of the problems. He said, I'm always helping everybody else. I'm always trying to solve everybody else's problem. People are always coming to me about this is what's wrong and this is what's going on. Nobody wants to help me when I say I have a problem. And again, that's something that leads to mental breakdown. It's something that leads to depression. It's something that leads to suicidal thoughts, things of that nature. And again, it does happen within our community. But again, nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to admit it. Nobody wants to do something to try to help the problem. Instead, we just try to sweep it under the rug. We try to just ignore it and hope it goes away, or praise it goes away, and that's it. People are constantly going through things. There is no such thing as a perfect life. There is no such thing as a stress-free life. I don't care what line of work you're in. I don't care how old you are. Black, white, green, purple, doesn't make a difference. People have issues. People have problems. People have situations that they go through, and sometimes you don't feel like you're strong enough to deal with those situations on your own. And apparently, this was one of those situations. I'm probably going to end up saying something that's going to hurt feelings or bring up bad memories, because again, it's obvious at this point I didn't have really anything set out to say. I'm kind of just rambling. But one of the things that I know for certain, just dealing with kids, I know it's situations that kids go through now that I deal with on a daily basis that I don't think I can handle, and I'm a grown man. I'm an adult. I've gone through whatever situations I've gone through, and I know if I was to put in a situation that some of these kids are going through now, that I don't think I can handle it. And these are kids. And the thing is a lot of adults walking around now that had issues that went on when they were kids that they never got help with, they never dealt with, the family knew about, and they might have said, well, we're not going to put our business out there, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do this, we're just going to pray, we're just going to deal with it, we're going to keep it inside and deal with it. And that child went to a teenager that needed help, that teenager turned into an adult that needed help, that never got the help, and then when something happens, everyone wants to say, well, I don't know what happened, I don't know what was wrong, what could we have done? I mean, and it's worse, I'm not going to say it's worse with men, but because of how society is, we're taught to be tough. We're taught to be macho. You don't show emotion. You don't show weakness. So it's just it makes it seem like you're a weak male if you show any kind of issue. You show any kind of sensitivity. You show any kind of vulnerability. So I guarantee it's some guy watching this video right now that has some issue he's been dealing with since childhood that he wants help with, but he's embarrassed to tell anybody about. I can guarantee it. As a matter of fact, I guarantee it's probably half of the guys that's listening to this right now. And guys, you know what it is. It might be something small. It might be something big. It might be something horrible. But just about every guy can pretty much say it's something that you worry about, something that you think about, something that bothers you, something that's on your mind from time to time or all the time that you won't speak on to anybody else because you're embarrassed to admit that you got that problem. Now, I'm not telling you to say it on here. I'm not telling you to type it out. I'm telling you to do anything. But I'm saying we all know it's true. I guarantee that it's some female that's watching this right now that's been sexually assaulted, that's been raped, and never reported it because it was something that she felt ashamed of because she felt like it was something that was her fault, or if she felt ashamed of because she felt like something that she did that made her feel worthless because of it. It might have been a family member that did it, and other family members know about it, but because they're ashamed to admit that uncle or that cousin or that father or stepfather or whoever did it, and they don't want to get that person in trouble or they don't want to embarrass the family, everybody in the family just acts like it didn't happen. And again, I'll bet my next paycheck that's the situation that's going on right now with somebody that's watching this video right now, and they've been holding that in, they've been holding that pain, they've been holding that issue in for so long, male or female, and they want to get it out. They want to talk about it. They want to have some kind of closure or some kind of help with it, but they're ashamed or they're scared, or someone in their family told them not to worry about it, not to do anything about it, just pray about it, and it'll go away. It doesn't. I mean, it's not even women. I mean, I guarantee it's some male that's been molested or raped or had somebody do something to him, and that's part of it. I mean, it's so many issues that can go on that can cause people to have mental instability that nobody wants to really talk about and until it's too late. I mean, like I said, mental illness does happen in the black community. Depression does happen in the black community. Bipolarism does happen in the black community. Suicide does happen in the black community. All those issues that happen to everybody, no matter what you are, who you are, where you're from. But in our community, again, it's just something that we, for whatever reason, we just refuse to accept happens sometime and refuse to accept that needs to be addressed. And we just keep on trying to sweep under the rug. We keep on trying to, ignore it. We keep on trying to do other things besides actually going to get professional help. Again, I don't know if this is just a plea for somebody to go and get help because they need it. I don't know if this is just, like I said, me just ranting. I really don't know where this video came from. I just know that when I first read about it yesterday, and it's like, it was one of those moments like, all right, this doesn't seem real. Like, you mean to tell me this guy just walked up and just drove up and just shot a random guy for no reason? First, I thought it was some kind of like gang situation, like a gang initiation or some kind of stupidness like that. And then to come and find out, as you read more, he's saying that, I've been asking for help and nobody will help me, or I've been saying this was going on and everybody ignored me. And me doing the type of work I do, I'm not saying I understood why he did what he did, but I understand the basis of somebody needing help and not being able to, or not getting it. And again, it's one of the situations that somebody needs to get help sometime and they just feel like they can't get it. We've all had bad days. We've all had down days. We've all had depression to one level or another. And if you are one of those people that did have a severe depression issue, and you were suicidal, you were feeling like self-harm, and you're still here, I'm proud of you. I love you for the fact that you did avoid doing what those thoughts. Because again, I guarantee somebody watching this had those thoughts. If those thoughts come back, get help. If those thoughts come back, go see somebody and let them know, look, this is what's going on, and I need to talk to somebody about this. I need some help with this. I don't think I can deal with this on my own. If somebody comes to you and says that, I'm having these issues, I'm having depression issues, I'm having suicidal thoughts, I'm having these thoughts, and I don't know what to do. For God's sake, please don't just say, just ignore it. Don't say, just deal with it. Don't say, it'll be okay. No, if they're coming to you saying things like this, that is a cry for help. They are looking for some sort of assistance. They're looking for somebody to sit down and listen to what's going on. And if they come to you, that means they have some level of trust in you. They have some level of, they can confide in you about what's going on. Don't be the one to send them away, because those thoughts, those issues, those feelings are hard enough to deal with to begin with. And when you finally get the courage to say something to somebody, and that person that you finally got the courage to say something to brushes you off, that's going to make things worse. I would hate to have somebody come to me and say, I'm having these thoughts, I'm having these feelings, I'm having these issues, I need somebody to talk to. And then I say, well, you'll be all right. Just leave it alone. Just don't worry about it. And then they go through with what they said they're feeling. I'm going to be, it's going to cause issues with me. Again, just because of my line of work, I deal with people that say stuff like that quite frequently. And these are just kids. And if they didn't come to me, or they didn't come to somebody else, and they didn't seek out help, that means, again, they're going to turn into adults that still have these issues, that still have these thoughts, that still have these problems going on, and they don't feel like they can come to anybody. So again, I'm gonna try to find a number or find some site as far as like a suicide prevention hotline. I'm gonna post that down in the comments. I'm gonna just anybody that has any kind of help, anybody that has any kind of assistance or program that you know of, if you got some kind of help, put that down in the comments below. Of course, I want discussion. I always want discussion. I always like intelligent conversation. I always like intelligent discussions, because these what these videos are for when I do them. But I think on this one, I want more of that. Just any kind of help somebody can go to, they need it. Be it suicide prevention, depression issues, drug issues, just whatever. And maybe this can be the start of doing something to help somebody out. Maybe somebody can finally come to terms with the issue that they've been going through, and this video will give them the courage to go talk to somebody, or this video might have a comment or have a link or have a number that they can call to deal with whatever the issue going with, and that can be the step to getting them the help they need. So again, like I said, I didn't really have any kind of idea what I was going to say when I started recording this. It was just me kind of talking about what I was thinking when I saw it, and just based on my truth is my truth based on what I've seen, based on what I've experienced, based on what I know and things like that. So the truth that I know of issues like this, I know truthfully that they do happen, they do exist, they do affect everybody. There is no such thing as somebody that's immune to issues like this. So again, if you are somebody that is struggling with that, I'm telling you, figure out some way to get help. Even if it's just, I've been one of those people that said, people always come to me for issues. People always come to me with problems and situations, and I feel like sometimes when I have a problem, nobody wants to listen to me. I've said that to people before, and I've had them say that, well, just pray about it, or well, it's not that bad. And I know how that made me feel. Am I saying I was, considering suicide or thinking about, planning to kill myself? No, I've never gone that far. Can I honestly sit there and say that thoughts haven't come in my head? I'm not scared to admit that no, I can't say that. Because those thoughts have come in my head before. This might come as a shock to people, but again, like if I can't be open enough to say that these things have happened to me, then how can I expect somebody else to do it? People like to say, you're always so happy, you're always joking. That's one thing about people not trying to, stereotype me or put myself in any category. People that always seem like they can, make people laugh and always seem to be happy. The issue with that is it works in reverse. The same way I can be in any situation and find something happy to laugh about, or find something humorous, or find something funny, I can also be in a situation and find something tragic or find something depressing in any situation. I can't turn one on and one off. I just have to deal with both of them all the time. So can I say I've never had depression issues? Of course. I mean, no, I've had issues with depression, and me myself, yeah, I've held them in. I didn't go and seek help sometimes when I know I probably should have. And again, maybe this is kind of therapeutic for me to say it, but it happens, and I know it happens, and I know if it's happened to other people. And again, this is just me dealing with day to day and the stresses and being burnt out from dealing with just things on my job and things from other people, and so again, maybe I'm being somewhat hypocritical because I've gone through situations and I didn't speak out on it and I didn't seek help when I needed to. So maybe this will help me next time I need it if it gets to that point again. Again, like I said, I don't think I've ever actually contemplated suicide. I actually thought about killing myself, but those thoughts pop into people's head just when you're having depression issues, and I'd be lying to myself and lying to y'all if I say I've never had them. And I know that comes as a shock to a lot of people, but it's going to be people that understand that because they've had those same thoughts. So again, this is just not a cry for help from me saying I need help, but it's a cry for those of you that do feel like you need help. Seek help. If you feel like you need somebody to talk to, find somebody to talk to. If you feel like you're having issues that you need help with, find somebody you can go to. And if you can't, don't be embarrassed, don't be ashamed, don't be afraid to seek out professional help. It's okay to say and go to somebody like, look, what can I do? What can I say? Who can help me? Because again, I'm a fun-loving person. I'm a joking person. I'm a loving person. But I would hate to see somebody going through something and feel like just because they didn't have anybody they could go to, that they're sitting there suffering alone. You don't have to suffer alone. You don't have to go through these situations alone. You don't have to deal with these things alone. Find somebody. As much as I say, it burns me out sometimes to have people come to me, I'm willing to take on whatever I can. I mean, if you feel like you just want to talk to me about something, I might not be able to give you the help I need, but even if it's just trying to find somewhere to go, like I said, I'm going to try to put some links and stuff in these comments when I get them. So, again, be safe, take care of yourselves. So, love y'all. Peace.